guess the top story tonight is on ABC News, and it's everywhere. It's the same story.
Yeah, same thing.
What is it, January
January
6th?
6th.
Merrick Garland is saying some shit here, so why not have a look? And I'm sure he'll be clarifying exactly what it is this is all about. What a great Attorney General we have in Merrick Garland. Huh?
So fair. Listens to parents' rights groups.
Of course. Why would?
A number of assumptions based into the leading question. I'm very familiar with as a former trial lawyer. But there is a lot of speculation about what the Justice Department is doing, what it's not doing, what are...
This guy seems to me less like an attorney general, more like a Weasley scared assistant pastor of like some sort of a Presbyterian congregation.
I thought you were going to say assistant principal, because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like a weird assistant principal or
Be
a
that.
guidance counselor.
He could be that too. He just has this like horrible kind of I don't know, presence to me. Just like reeks of everything that he actually is.
Right.
theories are, our theories aren't, and there will continue to be that speculation. That's because a central tenet of the way in which the Justice Department investigates, a central tenet of the rule of law, is that we do not do our investigations in public. This
Really? Okay. Well, why is it on TV
Could have fooled me.
all the time?
What happened with all the leaks when Trump was president? There was like a leak a day,
Yeah.
sometimes two.
That was very public. The Justice Department and the time-honored policies of the of the whole federal government, Justice Department, and all that stuff seems like very pliable. Depends
on who's
yeah.
being investigated.
Uh-oh.
continue to be that speculation. That's because a central tenet of the way in which the Justice Department investigates, a central tenet of the rule of law, is that we do not do our investigations in public. This is the most wide-ranging investigation and the most important investigation that the Justice Department has ever entered into. And
Wow, that says so much. No damage done. No damage done.
Zero.
The only person killed was, the woman.
Yeah, Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, one of them. So, one, and then like these somebody died of a stroke.
Yeah, like, yeah.
A couple of them killed themselves, committed suicide.
A lot of Capitol officers killed themselves.
So several, right?
Yeah.
So we're now to that's we need to investigate that. To investigate.
Yeah, the sudden rise in suicides after January 6th.
How odd, right? Maybe they were having second thoughts about everything, or they weren't completely on board, so they had to be. Look, I don't know nothing about their suicides, but I don't know why they'd want to commit suicide, right? When they're heroes.
Yeah, they're paraded around, given gold ribbons, presidential medals of honor, and whatnot.
we have done so because this effort to upend a legitimate election, transferring power from one administration to another.
No, it wasn't really that. That wasn't what they were trying to do. No. They were trying to question the results of the election and have it recounted in certain places and say,
Right.
"Hold on, we're not ready to certify this yet because there's some issues."
Yeah, we don't accept this. We think it's bullshit. So let's go forward and make a lot of noise about it.
Yeah.
We're pissed.
Had nothing to do with. I don't know what they're saying. Like, oh no, we are deposing one leader and bringing in another.
We're gonna chop off Pence's head, and we're gonna install a new vice president.
Yeah.
And what do you fucking think they're gonna do? Without guns, without tanks, without brass knuckles.
Yeah, for real.
Cuts at the fundamental of American democracy. We have to get this right. And for people who are concerned, as I think every American should be, about protecting democracy.
Are you concerned about protecting democracy?
Oh, if this is democracy, I don't want to protect it.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah, this form of democracy is a little bit unfair.
Yeah.
This form of democracy with the mail-in voting and the loading up of ballots and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. It seems to me like they get awfully, righteous about democracy.
All right.
But that's what they're kind of when they say things like this, they're only talking about for them.
Right.
They only mean democracy democratocracy,
Yeah.
stuff that benefit. They really do. The way they say these things is not to include the two parties and all views and conservative and liberal.
They have to fortify it.
Yeah, they are the ones that are right. So them winning is us winning.
Yes.
We have to do two things. We have to hold accountable every person who is criminally responsible for trying to overturn a legitimate election.
There's no overturning.
Yeah. Who?
Yeah.
Who's this person?
Criminally responsible for trying to. How does even taking a shit on somebody's desk make you criminally responsible for trying to overturn an election? What does breaking a window have to do with overturning an election?
It's a $500 fine anywhere else
Yeah.
on any other date.
Depending on who does it.
Right.
Maybe nothing.
Yeah. Especially in right now in New York.
And we must do it in a way filled with integrity and professionalism.
Yes. Integrity and professionalism. They love to espouse the values of America, when like this, or of the, Justice Department, integrity, professionalism, all this stuff. When they're in charge of it, you know what I mean? And then they assail it for not having that, it could be. Look, I mean, the hypocrisy is so stupid anyways, because it's like such a done deal at this point,
It's so obvious.
It's a given that these people are authoritarian motherfuckers, all of them. And every appointee that they have in the cabinet is just a mouthpiece for whoever.
Yeah, whoever's writing the script.
I mean, they find these people who are just, like weak-willed, lifelong bureaucrats or sexual deviants, who are more than happy, to just not show up.
Yeah.
Only be there when the press needs to,
People, they've never built anything, never had an employee, never had their own business, never run anything.
They've never even, I can't imagine that they've ever really had to do anything other than just be political in a workplace and not and just to rise up. I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know what the fuck Merrick Garland was doing. I know that they tried to get him on the Supreme Court. Imagine this guy for life. Perfect Stephen Breyer stand-in.
The way the Justice Department conducts investigations. Both of these are necessary in order to achieve justice and to protect our democracy. Okay, look, no person is above the law in this country.
Except
Yes.
Hunter Biden.
Biden.
And Joe Biden.
Yeah. That's the big deal. I mean, who cares if his son's going around the world smoking crack and getting his dick sucked? Like,
yeah, well,
whatever.
getting paid off with, really, that's fine if he does that. But it's something that he certainly should be surrounded by a lot of people who can make sure that he doesn't interact with anybody important. I don't think he has that. I mean, wasn't he given like a $4 million diamond by the Chinese? Well, that's how money laundering is done.
Yeah. Art.
Yeah.
Art is like the biggest money laundering scheme on the planet, using art.
Mm-hmm. And so these things are used in order to transfer funds that are just, hey, gifts. Yeah.
I $100,000 for the painting. I spent 30 minutes on. Babe, I'm not a trained artist at all. Never painted anything before.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, but it's when they say this, no person is above the law business. Give me a fucking break. Man, the accountability that kicks in when they're going after their political opponents. And that's all this is a fucking political witch hunt, a political take them down, a political, the kind of people that they're roping into this whole thing.
Right. I mean, no one's ever, I think everyone's forgotten about Hillary Clinton. She's
Who?
so above the law.
Hillary who?
Yeah.
What? I don't remember anything about that.
What'd
What'd
she do?
You mean the one that colluded along with the FBI and whoever at Fusion GPS and all that stuff
Spied.
in order to spy on a presidential candidate in order to smear his name and make sure he was ineffective and have him burdened by investigations and independent counsels and nothing but trouble swimming upstream every damn foot of the way. And he still got some stuff done, but I mean, Jesus.
Nothing stops us.
Even a former president.
I don't know how to. maybe
Even
I'll
a
say that
former
again.
president? Oh, what a-
No person is above the law in this country. I can't say it any more clearly than that. There is nothing in
I mean, we know what you're saying. We know what you're saying. You're talking about President Trump. That's who's not above the law.
That's who's this is aimed at. I mean, I hate when they speak in like these broad terms. It's like a HR department just moved into the presidency, into the White House. It's an HR department. It's not even a government at this point.
We pledge to do everything possible to enable people and empower people to pledge for diversity and equality and equity. Excuse me, equality. Forget
Yeah,
that.
no, that's
Equity
gone.
and inclusion. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. You don't get any broader than that. What the hell could that all mean?
I don't think it means anything.
I'll tell you what it means. It means a lot. No, that means diversity, equity, and inclusion. That means we're going to hire people who have no business being here simply based on the fact, and I don't even think that they have certain criteria for people who are. They don't take the best person that would be out of that group.
No.
They don't take the most qualified. If they even would take the most qualified transsexual, I'd be like,
I guess. But did you see the
that
true
would
bald
be
tranny?
it would be an improvement. The what?
The bald tranny that wears the dress and paints his nails. And
You know what? You
they
got
should
that.
charge a nuclear waste disposal.
You got that appointment months ago, and nobody really batted an eye. I guess there's other stuff going on, and then it seems like lately you've floated up like, hello, that.
Hello.
I'm bald and loving it. Or what- I've never even heard it speak.
You think for that like nuclear waste disposal, you think you would hire someone that's been in like the nuclear energy industry for 30 years, some like 53-year-old guy,
Yeah.
who's been doing it for his whole life.
Yeah, it's somebody
But
who's
this guy.
sitting in front of some terminal somewhere.
Yeah.
Even that guy. Even just
I'll take that
promote
guy. I'll take
Joe
Frank.
Lunchbox.
Yeah.
Nuclear waste. Operator or whatever the hell they have. Over just some look at this feel good appointment.
Yeah, environmental studies major.
How many people does it make feel good? I don't feel good about it.
I don't feel safe at all.
The whole thing is to demoralize America. The whole thing is to make America just like we're in a tailspin. They go, it doesn't matter who is in the place in the appointment except to demoralize America.
Right.
That's the only. And when you see this guy, no better than bald tranny, in my opinion, no better than bald gay tranny as Merrick Garland. That's a more important kind of a position. So they go, well, we at least need a white-haired white dude to do this.
But as long as he has the same belief system as the bald tranny, thumbs up.
Yeah, he has the exact same belief system. No belief system.
Right.
They have no belief system. They have no beliefs. They have no convictions. They have no commitment
There's
morally.
no God, morals. Right.
None of that stuff. There's nothing they believe in. They believe in what they're told to believe in, and then they go out and espouse it. And if they know what's good for them, they'll keep doing it. And if they're lucky, they get through their career and get to retire someplace, peacefully. I mean, finally, Fauci's going to retire.
81 years.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, now I don't know how much he has anything to do with actual policy or not. Maybe they've he's been around long enough and been a fuck up long enough to where they go, we can trust him. Yeah, he's been around long enough making the wrong decisions, doing the exact wrong thing, doing things that, all about limiting freedom. We have to balance that against safety. All this shit. That guy's a liar.
The principles of prosecution and any other factors which prevent us from investigating anyone who's criminally responsible for an attempt to undo a democratic election.
Undo.
Who is this person that was undoing it? Joe Biggs? Is Joe Biggs going to go in there with his rifle all by himself and just go, I'm the president now?
Consider it undone.
Proud Boys?
Yeah. Proud Boys. Oh, my God, the Proud Boys. Oh, my God, the Proud Boys. They have beliefs. They think things. They have ideas that we don't like. They say things we disagree with. Fuck them.
They think white Western men built the modern world. How dare they think such a thing?
How dare they? How dare they mention it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's okay to know it, you know. I have a
Keep it
feeling.
down. Don't say it.
I think that a lot of the people that are like all about giving power, you know, to minority type people like transsexuals or just people based on their race, color, their ethnicity, whatever it is that they're doing it on for diversity. They think that like it's okay because we'll always have our hands on the controls. You know, the people who are actually for it, they think that it's a game. They think it's like, go ahead, be in charge for a little while of something, you know.
Right.
They don't realize that, no, this is like, there's a huge problem with people not being qualified to do jobs and with a shadow government back there. Man, oh man, has it never been more clear that we have a shadow government. When you see somebody like that acting as if, I mean, he hasn't got the stones to do a fucking thing.
Yeah. Now, unless a left-wing organization tells him to, he'll get on it the very next business day.
All he has to do is sign a paper, appear at a place, whatever. I mean, it's
Yeah.
all told to him. He doesn't get to decide what he does, if he agrees or disagrees. The moment he steps out of line, new attorney general.
Yeah.
Right? Gotta
Absolutely.
be.
If he stops, if he like, goes, you know, maybe this January 6th thing wasn't as big as we thought it was, he's gone.
Oh,
He's gone.
Yeah. So it's not his choice to make.
No.
So when you see these people, oh yeah, it's like he's done this, he's doing that. No, nobody's doing anything. We mentioned Hunter Biden, so might as well
let's
like
talk
look at
about
this article here. Federal investigation into Hunter Biden's business activities nearing a critical juncture as investigators weigh possible charges and prosecutors confront Justice Department guidelines to generally avoid. And by the way, this is from what's on this MSN site, which I guess is just
CNN.
gathers stuff. So
Yeah.
it's whatever. Justice Department guidelines, and generally avoid bringing politically sensitive cases close to an election, according to people. So bringing politically sensitive cases near an election. I didn't know that was a guideline. I guess
It's in there. It's in the law.
I mean, you don't want to
that
go
what it
out of
is?
your way,
Right.
but if somebody's breaking the law, enforce it.
Yeah, you have to say you can't do that if you're breaking the law. If I'm going 70 to 65 and I get pulled over, what am I going to do? You know, I broke the law. I got to take the fucking ticket and deal with it.
And it doesn't get any more politically sensitive
than speeding.
than Ian Erickson speeding.
Yes.
So, while no final decision has been made on whether to bring charges against President Joe Biden's son, sources say the probe has intensified in recent months, along with discussions among Delaware-based prosecutors, investigators running the probe, and officials at Justice Department headquarters. I mean, I've seen him do illegal shit, be in possession of crack, at least. And I know that they're not talking about that, but I mean, why
Can't
wouldn't
prove
they
the girls
just...
were underage, you know, I guess. But the crack is obvious.
The underage women, girls, I should say, that's pretty fucking disturbing, huh? I mean, all this stuff came out on the laptop. Do you think that's an intentional leak in order to, like, we need to get this out of the way? This is probably the best time. We can't do politically sensitive cases here at this time, so we'll kind of just spread it out as much as possible. And look, we are months away from the election. It's July.
It's a lifetime.
So get on it. If you want to not bring the case near an election, then fucking do it now. Because I know that the case will run on. I have a feeling it's not going to run on as long as this motherfucker has. They don't have any. This seems like it'd be kind of politically sensitive, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all the corruption and...
So it's one thing to bring it. I mean, I'm talking about January 6th.
Oh, okay.
They have January
Hunter
6th
Biden.
politically sensitive,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah, super politically sensitive.
Yeah, and it's not. They brought it, you know, at a certain time, whatever, maybe, you know. But I mean, look, they're televising it. So I mean, you tell me you don't want politically sensitive Justice Department shit during an election, anywhere near an election. But we'll put this shit on TV.
Broadcast it everywhere.
This is about protecting our democracy. This isn't political.
Broadcast it into your eyeballs, into your hearing aids.
Oh my God! If they had a way, that's why people who say the chip. I'd like to be able to just surf the web without having to. Yeah, how about having your memory wiped clear?
No,
How about
thank you.
involuntarily picking up a box? Going like, why am I doing this?
Who's telling me to move?
Yeah. I mean, transhumanism is not just for the wealthy, you know. They'll get the good version where it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we get to live forever. You get the version that's I don't get to make my own decisions now.
Right. Yeah. The plenty of fish of operating systems.
Yeah. Well put. David Weiss, the U.S. attorney in Delaware, is heading the probe, and which dates back to as early as 2018. Wow, that's a long probe.
Yeah,
I've
it's
kind
a
of known
huge
Hunter
probe.
Biden was fucking around, and being kind of a fucking piece of shit. He had that gun charge, I know. That gun situation. He had an illegal gun. He bought it illegally. He lied on his application for it. That's a federal crime.
It's a felony, right? Lying on a gun application.
Yeah, it's a federal crime. So bring it right away. Wait, well, let's wait till near an election, and then we can't. I mean, what's near? What? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, they've recently centered around possibly bringing charges that could include alleged tax violations and making a false statement in connection with Biden's purchase of a firearm. That's what they're looking at. They're weighing that. What's to weigh?
He did it.
I mean, what evidence do you need? I knew about this a long time ago. You knew about this a long time ago. The American people who pay attention have known that he lied on a gun and an application for a gun, for a firearm, to buy it. You know, when? How long? Been a while.
What did he? Do you know? Does it say what he said? What the lie was, or that he omitted something? Or?
Probably said that he, wasn't a crack
Yeah,
smoker.
didn't smoke crack. Yeah, that's a mission. That's
Or that he had never been arrested, or that no legal. I don't know, but he lied. He lied about something that matters. He lied about something that would get him disqualified.
from getting the gun. If he said I'm smoking crack right now, they would probably not issue the gun
I'm smoking crack right now.
as we speak. Filling it
That
out.
was one of the questions. Are you smoking crack right now? Fuck.
On the gun applications,
I didn't expect that.
There's on the reverse side, you could put mental health history, drug history, if you have any, and if you do, you have to put it down there. So I'm thinking he just didn't write down the crack years or something like that, which is still lying on the gun application.
Oh, it says, let's see, false statement, purchase of a firearm at the time. He would have been prohibited from doing so because he acknowledged struggles with drug addiction.
there it is.
Well, yeah, there it is. I guess we could have just
Just
read the whole
read
sentence.
further. It says speculating.
The investigation of the president's son has loomed large among the politically fraught issues Merrick Garland faces as Attorney General. He faces them, him and him alone.
That's it.
Weiss he's one of a handful of appointees of former President Donald Trump who were kept on by the Biden administration because they were overseeing politically sensitive investigations.
Sensitive.
They were kept on, yeah, because, they're in full agreement, I'm sure. Or willing to be.
Right. They're not going to rock the boat.
Some people who are going like, look, I just kind of like whichever the way the wind's blowing here, guys. You tell me what I think, and I'm happy to.
Just CC me on the emails from the top, and I'll just go along with it. Whatever they say.
Or summarize them.
Yeah.
Actually, just send a script. Adding to the pressure, Republicans in Congress have already announced that they take over the House of that if they take over the House of Representatives midterms, they plan to launch new investigations and hold hearings to examine the conduct of Hunter Biden and others in the Biden family. They'd rather get the case begun, and when they have some control over it.
So maybe after the election, then we can have actual, panels and congressional hearings when the Republicans take back the House at least.
I'm sure they're looking at who's going to win, how can we get to them, how can we make them do what we want, no matter what party they're in, how can we make them be favorable to Hunter Biden.
Yeah. Well, that's politically sensitive.
It says here also potentially in play are Justice Department guidelines governing politically sensitive investigations during an election year. Governing
Wow.
guidelines that govern it. Guidelines are suggestions. They're guidelines, right? I mean, guidelines are the kind of things that you have a pencil pusher someplace writing out. They're not like, it's policy. Mm-hmm. Policy changes sometimes, according to like, look, normally this is not the policy, but right. So
Yeah.
they can definitely
They could
There's-
fudge them.
It doesn't give them a legal reason not to do it.
Sure.
Current and former Justice Department officials say there is an unwritten rule. Oh, I just said pencil pusher. Unwritten rule that prosecutors avoid bringing politically sensitive cases within 60 days of an election.
An unwritten rule, so not legal, not even a guideline.
Not even a guideline. Just a, this is just what we try to do, I mean, it seems like it's best. But didn't they announce a further probe into Hillary Clinton's deal in the FBI? Right? Right before the election?
Yeah,
2 weeks before the election or something, which they concluded in about 4 days or something.
They wrapped that up quick.
Over the weekend, we read 300,000 emails and have thoroughly concluded that she clear.
Fucking speed readers.
She is good. Here's a little fucking TV thing. Let's see what this lesbian's talking about. All right.
On the president's son, Hunter Biden, CBS News obtained a letter from House Republicans demanding Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen share information about his alleged suspicious foreign business dealings.
Now, Janet Yellen is another piece of garbage, worthless appointee in the cabinet who was just like, I guess I was wrong about inflation. I don't know. I'm an old lady. What do I know?
Don't ask me questions. I can barely walk.
I'm here because I'm an ideologue, you see.
It also accuses the Biden administration of stonewalling the GOP-led investigation. So senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge has been following this closely and joins us now. So Catherine, what are these suspicious activity reports? What are they talking about?
Well, they go by the acronym SARS, and their financial transactions, Anne-Marie,
SARS?
Interesting.
that require further review. They're flagged for further review by the bank. It can be based on the amount of money involved, something they call velocity, how quickly a deposit is made to an account, and then how quickly it cashes out. And then lastly, something called layering. How many accounts does the money pass through before it reaches its final destination? That can be an indicator of suspected money laundering based on.
I mean, yeah, and also look at the source, look at the recipient. Right? Like who put it in, who eventually took it out, and who was in between, fine. But I mean, yeah, let's be real.
On our reporting here at CBS News.
I know zero about money laundering, and I know this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same. I know. Like I said earlier, I know that art is used for money laundering. That's like the biggest diamonds you mentioned.
Sure. I mean, I saw the fucking Ozark or whatever. That's about it.
Over 150 financial transactions.
But even at that, I can see, that this guy is guilty of something. Let me rewind a little bit so we can hear what the hell she's saying.
Final destination. That can be an indicator of suspected money laundering. Based on our reporting here at CBS News, over 150 financial transactions involving the global business affairs of Hunter Biden and the president's brother James Biden were flagged by the banks for further review.
That's
over
a lot.
150.
That's a lot. I saw a financial lawyer talk. I don't know what the title is, but anyway, he was talking about these types of flags on people's accounts. He goes, if you see 3, you go, something's wrong here. This is not right.
Yeah.
He's like 150. He's unheard of. He said in my 30-year career, I've never heard of 150.
And again, that is the story. There's 150 flagged transactions is the story. Now, let's just hear how they couch the story going back, okay? To remember, this is how they fucking lie.
There is fresh scrutiny this morning on the president's son, Hunter Biden. CBS News obtained a letter from House Republicans demanding Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen share information about his alleged suspicious foreign business dealings.
The story is the Republicans
Jerks.
are calling for Janet Yellen to do something. It's not Hunter Biden has 150 transactions
No,
flagged.
that's not the title.
No, it's Republicans are demanding Janet Yellen look at it. I mean, just
The bad guys are screaming at the poor old lady.
Yeah, think about
Yeah.
it. Just think about that.
There is fresh scrutiny this morning on the president's son, Hunter Biden. CBS News obtained a letter from House Republicans demanding Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen share information about his alleged suspicious foreign business dealings. It also accuses the Biden administration of stonewalling the GOP-led investigation.
Allegedly suspicious.
Allegedly, 155.
There is fresh
Not
scrutiny
allegedly.
this morning on the president's son, Hunter Biden. CBS News obtained a letter from House Republicans demanding Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen share information about his alleged suspicious foreign business dealings. It also accuses the Biden administration of stonewalling the GOP-led investigation.
The letter from the Republicans accuses the Biden administration of stonewalling on the investigation.
So senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge.
If this was the previous, administration, they would just say the White House has been stonewalling.
Has been following
That's
this
the story.
closely and joins us now. So, Catherine, what are these suspicious activity reports? What are they talking about?
Well, they go by the acronym SARS, and they're financial transactions, Anne-Marie, that require further review. They're flagged for further review by the bank. It can be based on the amount of money involved, something they call velocity, how quickly a deposit is made to an account, and then how quickly it cashes out. And then lastly, something called layering. How many accounts does the money pass through before it reaches its final destination? That can be an indicator of suspected money laundering.
Bunch of background, sort of like, here's what potentially makes something suspicious. There's three reasons right here
It's no big deal.
that might be that look,
Took out the money
it's
too
like,
early,
whatever. A lot of but everybody's supposed to just their brain goes to sleep because she said SARS, and then she said and then she gives this general banking information instead of what she's about to say.
Based on our reporting here at CBS News, over 150 financial transactions involving the global business affairs of Hunter Biden and the president's brother James Biden were flagged by the banks for further review.
There you go. That's the
title.
headline.
Right.
We don't know how that played out in terms of whether they believe there may have been criminal activity or really nothing suspicious at all.
So what does the letter from
The flag comes from because it's
we
suspicious.
we don't know how it played out.
the House GOP allege, Catherine?
Like, as if nothing suspicious at all was there. Why do the Republicans have to be demanding this shit from Yellen? What's in there? Why doesn't Yellen just go, yeah, there was nothing suspicious. Here's the fucking papers.
Yeah, here's the report.
Well, Vlad, what they're alleging is that the Treasury Department is blocking what they describe as traditional oversight of financial affairs. They're saying that in June of this year, there was a phone call between Treasury officials and Republican House staffers in which the staffers were told that Treasury would not be providing these suspicious activity reports for congressional review unless Democrats also join the request. And Congressman James Comer, who
What?
Okay.
Unless Democrats also join the request.
They want it to be bipartisan, I'm assuming.
who wrote to the Treasury Secretary, said the Treasury's actions call for investigation and raise new questions about the degree to which the Biden administration is using the federal government to provide cover for the Biden family and its associates. I think for context, it's important to note that Democrats control the House Oversight Committee, so they're really the party with the most pull in terms of getting records and issuing subpoenas.
So what has the response been like from the Treasury Department?
Investigate our own people.
Well, we've reached out to the Treasury Department for a news statement. What they told us when we did the original reporting back in May is that they believe that they have complied with these records requests, and they've done so in a manner that they think enables robust congressional oversight. There's sort of another element to this that the Republicans are saying that there are more restrictions on how they access these records and something called an in-camera review, which means that you can come into a room, you can review the records, but you can't take them with you, and in some cases you can't bring in paper and pencil to take notes as well.
So the
would
White
that
House
be?
position, Catherine, as you know, has been that the president does
Sounds like
not discuss
unspoken
business
rule.
with his son. Yesterday, the press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, took questions about materials recovered from Hunter Biden's laptop. Here is what she had to say.
From this podium, I am not going to talk about alleged materials from the laptop. I will.
Talk to Hunter Biden's representative. I'm sure.
I'm not.
President's voice on the voicemail.
I am not going to talk about alleged materials on the laptop.
Are
it's
you
not
disputing
happening.
then that it is not?
Peter, I refer you to his son's representative.
All right.
This is the federal government covering it up. So
Yeah, don't talk to us. We're just covering this up.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
yeah,
It has nothing to do with this.
talk to Hunter Biden's
So,
representative. I mean, his crack dealer. Or
His PR.
Not answering any questions there from members of the press, Catherine. What do we know about the status of this investigation?
Well, Vlad, based on our investigative unit's reporting, the U.S. Attorney in Delaware has been probing a number of issues. They include tax fraud, tax evasion, money laundering, as well as whether Hunter James Biden and their business associates complied with foreign lobbying laws. What I can also tell you based on our reporting is that there's a lot of noise and static in the system. Based on my experience, that can be an indicator of conversations and discussions between the two parties on whether they can reach some kind of plea agreement. We don't have enough to fill in all the blanks yet, but we hope to soon. So I would watch this space.
all right, well, fuck off, y'all.
Yeah, nothing will happen. He won't go to jail.
Shitty. Well,
he
no.
might have to pay a fine
I
or
mean,
something.
come on, dude. He won't. There's no. That's enough. Give me a break. We got to look at some Lawrence Taylor highlights here. Oh my goodness. What a player. He's widely regarded as the best to ever play the game. Best football player all around. Have you heard that?
Yep, I heard it. I heard not just defense, not just linebacker.
I typed in LAWRE,
Boom.
Lawrence Taylor highlights, first result. Right there, just with that. I'll roll it and switch over here.
Will put it up. He beats one man, beats another. And down he goes. There's something about
Cunningham.
Lawrence Taylor that is larger than life.
LT was a bad mother.
Back looking in, don't hit. Taken down by Taylor.
Down.
Lawrence Taylor comes on the scene, and we've never seen anybody that ferocious, that talented.
Once he gets the quarterback at his sights, he's going to get him.
The
Damn,
last
this goes on
defensive
football
player to win the most valuable player award.
I tell you, Lawrence Taylor is going to be a force in this league.
Playing for the Giants back in the old days was exercising futility.
The Giants have gone
Quarterback.
18
You
years
ask them who they
without making the
want to play
playoffs.
against.
You know, they
What'd you say?
Every quarterback, if you ask them who did you want to not play against,
Right to the playoffs was rookie.
I don't want
Put him on his back.
anything to do with
He
them.
was unstoppable.
18 years since the playoffs. And now they advance because of Lawrence Taylor.
Damn, I mean, that's just like a
Happy
club.
Thanksgiving to you. I'm Pat Summerall. It's great to be back again with John Madden.
Why are we looking at this? Lawrence Taylor, less Pat Summerall, as much as I like him.
Barry Carson, and he was almost gone. I'll tell you who caused that, though, Pat. Lawrence Taylor did. He's hitting Danielson
Can't block
just
him.
as he's throwing it. Billy Sims over left side.
Billy Sims is a great back.
Giants think they have the football.
They do.
They do have the football.
Brad Van Pelt. Taylor hits him from the outside.
First down, Lions. Here comes the rush by Taylor. And you talk about strong. You talk about athletic
You go
ability.
lay
Look
down
at
for a
that.
bit.
Danielson looking outside. He throws. Picked off by Lawrence Taylor. 97-yard touchdown interception.
I tell you, there are some defensive players that are great players. They play well. There are some that are great enough to dominate a game. And that's the type of defensive player Lawrence Taylor is.
All right. Yeah, we can't look at this all damn day, but there you go. I mean, the man, Lawrence Taylor. Hey, there's no. I've never seen anybody better on defense. Is there anybody? Reggie White.
Reggie White. Yeah, I was thinking Reggie White.
He's good, but he's fat and he's dead.
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor. All right. Thanks for watching. See you later.